So, back at Graveyard Keeper. It has been a very long time since I played this game. Last time I played this was before the zombie update. Uh, yeah, it's fine. So I've got Breaking Dead and Game of Crone. Let me make sure that I've got... Do I have all of the things for this game? Pretty sure I do. I don't have Better Save Soul. Oh. Alright, let me close out of this and get that relaunched. Alright. So I'm not gonna read any of this crap. Because I'm gonna go through the game as I would normally start it from the beginning, and if any of this DLC stuff comes up as we go, great. If it comes up later on in the game, great. We'll deal with it then. But yeah, as I was saying, it has been several years, I think, since Graveyard Keeper. In fact, I'm going to look it up because I'm curious. Graveyard Keeper, I last played it in 2018. So it's been 4 years since I last played Graveyard Keeper, and obviously there have been several DLC since I last played it. And I'm assuming there's been enough change, so I'm going to start the game over from scratch. Let's do a couple things with the music. We'll chill you a little bit. I think they'll be fine. Let's turn you up. Good. Now it's crisper pixel art. All right. Play. Yeah. I guess I could have just looked in here. It's fine. So I played for 472 days in the game. And I had 484 and 78, whichever those numbers mean. I don't remember. This is why I'm starting over, because I don't remember a damn thing from 4 years ago. So we're gonna do a new game. It is an ordinary day, and our hero is hurrying home, where someone very important is waiting. Even in everyday routine, there's a place for stupid text, especially when you know that someone misses you. It's going too quickly. Smash. What happened? Where is everything? Calm down. You've merely turned a page in your life. A whole new chapter awaits you ahead. But I need to go home. Can I go home? There's always a way to get home. Let me see. Your new home is a graveyard. Yes. Does that mean I'm dead? It means you're a graveyard keeper now. But I need to go home to my love. Then you need to be a good graveyard keeper. You should dig up Gary or Jerry. I'll help you sort everything out. Do we call him Gary or Jerry? Is this a GIF situation? Who? What a strange vision. What is this nightmare? Okay, let's find Jerry. Alright, one sec. I forgot to change my game title. There we go. Graveyard Keeper. New task. So first number was graveyard score, second was church score. Now, I am noticing that this is really, really, really tiny in this house. So where's all of my info? I'm just gonna follow the arrow. Maybe we'll have info later. We're going to dig up Gajeri. Holy Sard, I'm a skull. Are you Jerry? I'm not gonna keep calling him that. Why do you think I'm Jerry? Gary. We'll settle on Gary. The man with the red eye told me I need to dig up Gary. Red eye? I remember. Oh, sorry, that's right. I'm Gary. How'd you find me? The man told me you'd answer all my questions. Good, good. But first, let me ask you. Who are you, and where the Sard are we? That's right, he says Sard for all of his swearing. Dut dut dut. I must be dreaming. None of this can be real. I'm talking to a damn skull in a graveyard, for crap's sake. You're the new graveyard keeper. What else do I remember? Let me think. I remember that sound. Let's go check it out. Alright, the donkey. Everything is so strange. None of it makes sense. You know, I think it'll be better if I wait for you here. I might scare him off. I definitely remember that bell. And a donkey. Hello, donkey. Something is very wrong with that animal. He could be dangerous. Donkey. Donkeys of the world, unite! You've unlocked a new technology and got blueprint. Donkeys of the world, unite. Okay, sure. Got a fresh corpse from the town. Wow, a talking donkey. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. You can understand me? Let's talk. Who are you? I'm cheap labor. This cart isn't mine, so I have to work for the capitalist bastard who owns it. And I only earn 5 carats a day. The situation is deeply humiliating. You know where I'm coming from, right, comrade? Duh, donkey, duh. The bastard pretends that he doesn't understand anything I'm saying. Anyway, I need to go back to the town. You get rid of this one, I'll bring you a new one. What a strange land this is. Alright, we have a corpse. Hey, what are you staring at? Grab that juicy corpse while it's still fresh. What for? I feel like we should take it to the morgue. I don't remember why exactly. But I'm pretty sure it'll be fun, and it might be profitable. I'm gonna puke. Let's do it! The puking part? E to pick up and drop large items. Nope. Sard, I like this place. Feels like home. Put the body on the autopsy table. Then, what's next? Oh yes, slice some flesh from the corpse. That should be good for starters. What? No way. This isn't right. Sure, it's not right. How could I forget? Maybe because I'm the talking skull with amnesia. Is it right that you don't know where you are? Is it right that I'm a skull? Nothing's right here. So shut the Sard up and do what I tell you. You promised to tell me how to get home. You need to trade the meat in the village tavern for a beer. Talking skulls never lie. And then bring the beer to me. Prep place, pallet, flesh. Alright. Put autopsy. Flesh. Yes. You've unlocked new technology and got burger, sandwich, and baked meat. That's disgusting. You'll get used to it. So, what should I do with the corpse? I don't know, let's bury it. Take the corpse, I'll wait for you in the graveyard. Oh, he's a magical teleporting skull as well. Lovely. Alright, graveyard. This channel direction. Let's bury it. Okay, use the blueprint desk at the graveyard. Mark a site for grave, then dig with your shovel. Carefully put the body, or what remains of it, in the grave. Bury, decorate. Warning, do not use goat skulls and upside down stars for decoration, yes. But what if I want to? Okay, so we need a gravesite, and we need to put this somewhere. And we need to dig. Oh, there we go. There. Nicely done. This burial certificate. I remember. Money. Alcohol. Alcohol. Sure used to like it. A lot. Ah, Sard. Here comes the bishop. He's your boss. Oh, I know. Ask him about the burial certificate. He should know something. I better leave now. I'll be in the morgue waiting for my beer. Dear me, I'm so tired. Why? Why do I have to come here every week? Cult of the Lamb Easter egg would be very fitting, yes. No, it's been a long time since I've seen the game too. Oh dear, the new keeper. We've been expecting him for 30 years, but he pretends there's nothing wrong. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but your graveyard is a mess. There's no way I'm promoting you to cleric until you fix it. I'm trying to remember the voice I gave him before, but it's not working. Alright, so numbers. Graveyard quality, church appeal, etc. Repair graves to increase the grave's overall quality. Yada yada. Probably need special resources to do that. Indeed. Wooden marker. As soon as your graveyard quality is at least 5, I'll be pleased to promote you. You look like a spiritual leader, and I'm a good judge of character. Ha! I'm good at everything. That's why I was chosen, to represent his will. Ha ha! Your predecessors used to keep this junk in a trunk somewhere here. Keep his stuff in a trunk. There we go. You should check it. I'll come by again next week. In fact, I come here every Sunday. Yes, that's right. We have the different symbols for the days. Maybe I'm not dreaming. Did I eat something? Oh, he's waiting. What should I say? Why is it you come here? That's part of my duty. The unpleasant part. It's kind of an old tradition. I don't know much about all the traditions and rituals. I'm just here to represent his might and glory. Ha! I have one tiny question. What is this burial certificate? As soon as the body has been laid to rest, you can trade the burial certificate for money at the village tavern. Okie dokie. Blueprint, Bishop's Choice. I'm not the keeper. I was going home from work. I need to go home. There's a talking skull. He forced me to butcher a corpse. Haha, a fine joke. I'm a humorist myself. Here's one. Who's BB? Who? I am. Haha. Blessed and beautiful. Ha 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 ha. How do I fix the graveyard, sir? Just repair all the graves. It wouldn't take me even an hour, but it's your job. Okay, fine. About the certificate. It's your payment for laying our brethren to rest. It's all part of an ancient contract between the town and the village. As soon as the body has been laid to rest, you can trade the burial for money. Oh god, this seems to be too complicated to be a dream. Tell me about this town. Oh, the town is the heart of our glorious land. The palace, the cathedral, everything is there. You should see it for yourself. But those clothes, that would be rather funny. Haha. How do I get to the town? It's not far from the village. Just head south from the tavern. And about this village, just go east from the graveyard, along the old stone road. Okie dokie. Goodbye. If you run out of repair kits while fixing the graveyard, you can always craft new ones. Tutorial technologies. So yes, the red, green, blue techs. Earn points by doing stuff. Yep. Stone stockpile and gathering stone rock. Timber stockpile, gathering small tree, gathering stake. Lovely. I have 1 whole point. Alright then. I'm pretty sure all of these were the same as before. I'm sure there's more stuff in them now, but at least the header's about the same. Known NPCs, we have Graveyard Keeper. That's you. You need to get back home to your love. Sell the burial certificate. Gary, a talking skull, suffers from amnesia. Bishop, his motto, pray, preach, and look like you won the lottery. And Donkey, a talking donkey, delivers bodies from a left-wing stable. Indeed. Right then. Alright, so here is the stuff. We've got stone repair kits, wood repair kits, and rusty ass hammer. Alright, so it's going to take me a while to fix this up. I don't think we're meant to do this all in one day. But previously we had the calendars up here. And I'm pretty sure we had come up with names for all of the days. But let's see. Fix it. All done, Animal Mother. Nice. Alright, so I don't have the wood one yet. That's fine. So we've got Sunday, Moon Day. I believe we call this Man Day, because it's the male symbol. I don't know what this one is offhand. We've got Quake Day, because that's the quake symbol. We've got Woman Day. So we just need a top one, the green one. I did beat the other game. You're fine. Recently, I don't think we've gotten any more snow, but I don't even remember anymore. It's hard to keep track. Alright, so just a little bit of work, and our graveyard quality is to -13. I think it was at like -30 before. So we're getting there. Got a dusting in St. Cloud. Yeah, I don't... there's been so damn much. It's hard to keep track of, honestly. Yeah, so we're not going to hit the quality number that he wants by the time he leaves. Alright, so I think we're walking to town, getting some money. I see this up here. What is this? It's ... Is that meant to be a quest tracker? Am I supposed to have quests to track? Hello, friends. Alright, so here we are. Welcome to the Dead Horse Tavern. I'm Horadric. How can I help you? I came from the graveyard. I woke up here today and things have been crazy since. Oh, sorry. How could I not have recognized you? Good. This is good. Things are looking bright for our small village. When are you planning to open the church? I need to fix the graveyard first, I guess? Sure, it's been a while since anyone took care of it. So let's get down to business, shall we? How can I help you? Burial certificate. Bishop told me that you would buy my burial certificate. Yes, he's right. As the head of the village, according to the ancient contract, I have to trade it for money. Of course, if I have any money. What do you mean? The village is going through hard times. We're short on money. But as soon as you open the church, pilgrims will bring lots of shiny coins to the village. I see. How do I get a town pass? It's rather complicated. The Inquisitor can grant a town pass, or you can just purchase citizenship. Shrug. Let me think. You know, there is one villager who could help you. Miss Charm. Maybe she can help you. How do I get back home? I really need to get home. My darling will be so worried. You're at the Dead Horse. Okay, it looks medieval. Maybe I traveled through time? And what year is it now? Year? What do you mean? The time it takes for the Earth to make one revolution around the sun? Oh, you've been listening to the astrologers' nonsense. Everybody knows that the Earth is flat. But I get you. It's 200 after the ancient contract and 210 after... never mind. And what is the name of our beloved kingdom? The kingdom. And it's definitely not beloved here in the village. Do you have any other questions? I'd like to trade you some fresh meat. Meat is a delicacy in our village. I'd be glad to buy it. I just need to see the royal meat stamp on it. Ah, right. The meat stamp. Many years ago, there was an accident with an inappropriate meat. Ever since, all meat must be approved by royal authority. And I don't need any trouble with the town. Does your meat have a stamp? No. I don't even want to know where you can get unauthorized meat, but wow, it looks really good. But without a stamp, my hands are tied. Where do I get the stamp? Oh, you can send a form to the royal court through the mailbox near your church, but it'll cost you a bundle. But there's another way. I'll tell you just because we're neighbors. Come closer. Closer. Closelier. There's this guy called Snake. I think he has a fake royal stamp. But to be honest, I haven't seen him for a while. You can ask Miss Charm. She comes here every Lady Day. I bet she can help you find Snake. Thanks. What do you got for trade, bud? Oh, Keeper, could you kindly take this letter to our local blacksmith, Cresvold? Sure. Where is he? The southeastern corner of the village. Okie dokie. So I can sell that. Wonderful. Teleport stones, grape pies, mug of beer. He did want a mug of beer, right? Why is there a mug of beer? Ah, different quality mug of beer. Okay. Well, let's get the cheaper mug of beer. Lovely. Alright, and you are... You must be the new graveyard keeper. So I've been told. But how did you know? Oh, if you live as long as I have, you'll probably learn how to read people too. But where's my manners? I'm Mrs. Chain, Horadric's wife. Nice to meet you. I have a few questions about... Oh, you better talk with my husband. He's in charge around here. He's not only the tavern keeper, but also the elected head of the village. Besides, he really does like to talk. All I can do is sell you some recipes. Will you sell me some recipes? But... Okay. Now we can talk. Money. I don't have much. So we're not buying recipes right now. It's fine. Alright, so this is their expansion, I believe, that we unlock later. There's a kitty on the bed. Arr, bad luck. Not today. Okay, fine. Either way. I'm not in a good mood. Go away. Alright, fine. Be that way. You. You are not talkable. You are also not talkable. Alright, so it's late, I believe, and I have no energy left. Southeast. Southeast. Yeah, there we are. Hello, friend. Hey, what are you staring at? Nothing? Just looking around. I think I'm the keeper of the local graveyard. May I ask who you are? Unfortunately, I'm the local blacksmith. My name's Cresvold. Here, a letter for you. From Horadric. A letter? Of course, 1 minute away and he can't be bothered to come himself. Heh, I guess old habits never die. Thank you. Sorry for my nagging. It seems it's my new habit. Slimes again. Horadric has asked me to get rid of them. I don't have the time for those pesky little green bastards, but maybe you can help. Take this rusty sword and an energy potion. The sword is broken, but you can repair it with a whetstone and the grinder right behind me. You can keep the whetstone. Maybe you'll need to repair your shovel sometime. If you manage to kill them, bring me their remains and I'll spare you some materials. They should be right up the other side of my house, near the puddles. Alright then. Actions, energy. Crafting, gathering, fighting, energy. Fighting has been known to take health as well. Spacey to attack. You can always refill your health and energy with food and potions. Tab for inventory. Sleeping for energy. He does like me enough to ask about metal ore. You know what? I like to work with metal myself. Where can I find some ore? You can find metal ore in the swamp soil. There's a huge swamp to the west across the river. Alright then. We used to collect ore there before the bridge collapsed. Ah, right. So I need to defeat the slimes. Alright, so I need potion. Energy. Swingy sword. Alright. Got your slimes done. Good job. Take this whetstone. Just sharpen your broken tools and they'll be good as new. Well, thanks. What do you got for sale? Nothing I can afford. Actually, I can technically afford, but you know what else. Alright, so let's go home. It's kind of late. In fact, it's so kind of late that it's almost dawn. But I appreciate everyone staying up late to talk to me. Oh, it's Lady Day today, so I'm gonna have to go right back to the church to talk to her. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna come back here. We're gonna just stay in town for the night, day, whatever. We'll sleep later. I mean, we eventually get rich enough that we could probably buy out the town. I think. Ma'am. I mean, if you want to take me home with you, sure, but I wasn't expecting that for tonight. Alright. There she is. I am not going to sing her line, by the way. Shaluba duba wawa. Blueprint, Miss Charm, Monroe. So all these new unlocks that we're getting, I feel like these don't need to be interjected at the very beginning of each of the introductions with people. I feel like these could have come out at some other point because they feel intrusive. Maybe they didn't consider that as they were adding all these DLCs. At least I'm assuming this is a DLC thing. Hi. What do you want? I'm a graveyard keeper and I want to ask you some questions, I think is the official line. I see. You know how many times a day I hear that same mumbling? I have no time for you, little man. Come back when you have more faith in yourself. But... Ciao. Wow. Rude. Can I have a moment? Young man. What did Miss Charm tell you? Literally to go away. Ah, always so classy. She would never talk to just anyone. I'm not just anyone, I'm the local graveyard keeper, or so they tell me. Soon to be prior of the local church. Pfft, how primitive. I'm a well-known poet in certain small circles. My name is Wagner. One day I'll read my poem to her, and then we'll... But first I need to write it, and I'm catastrophically out of paper and ink. Maybe you can get me some? Sure. You unlocked a new technology and got perk journalist. You notice the little things about people. Put these things together and you'll have a story. Sometimes you can get stories from dialogues. Where do I get said paper and ink? You may have some of it in your church, or you can make it. I'm just not used to manual labor, but a skillful man such as you surely could do it easily. Also, could you get some from the old astrologer? He used to go to the lighthouse every moon day. He was my supplier before we had this ridiculous fight. What about this old astrologer? He's old and mad, whereas I've been studying for almost 3 years at the town university. Can you believe he turned out to be an idiot? He told me that the earth is round. What nonsense. Yep. Flat as a pan. Yep. No one's gonna argue that right now. This astrologer must be the smartest man around. Maybe he'll be able to help me get me back home. What about the lighthouse? It's on a cliff to the east of the village. It hasn't seen active use for a while. Bless the dead horse for staying open. One day I'll write a poem about this place. Maybe even a couple lines about you. Right. And he's just gonna... Yep. Okay. Goodbye, sir. Yes, RK. I actually had to buy a couple of the DLC before we got started just now. So I did find out that everything was on sale. It's good you know how to use a sword. Cresvold told me about how you helped him. Here, have a beer. It's on the house. So that beer I purchased was unnecessary. It's fine. I'll keep it for later. Gizmo, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop doing. Stop doing. Alright, so, I don't have a map. At least not a very well-formed map at the moment. Oh, I do. It's just clicky draggy. Got it. So I need to go this way. Assuming that we're going to talk to the lighthouse keeper. So this thing goes clockwise. So next day is Quake Day. Fresh eggs. Oh, it's an honor system. Okay. This guy must be crazy. You think I'm crazy? No, I don't think that. I'm just trying to stay positive. And I know what truly matters. What? Heh, do you think he can understand? No, Dig, he won't, because he can't see. Okay, then I'll tell him a sweet lie. The only thing that matters are peace and herbs and nice sweet things. Sweet like honey. Bring me some honey and I'll teach you how to make a cake. Cake is the best. Alright then. Cake is pretty good. Oh yeah, I need to go get stuck on stuff. Cool. Mushroom. I need a tech. I need mushroom tech. Got it. Can I have your apples? I cannot have your apples. Holy mackerel, boy. You look like someone who desires to be part of the magic world of fishing. I don't know much about fishing. Lucky you, I know a whole lot about fishing. It's so relaxing and it can be profitable. Plus, fish are really tasty. Sounds great. I'm in. Smart choice, my boy. I'll provide you with everything you need and teach you how to cook fish. Yes. Teach me to cook fish. How do? You can always just grill it, but personally, I like to slice it and fry the slices in oil. Then just pop fish sticks in your mouth. He likes putting fish sticks in his mouth. And you know what else? When you eat fish, you start to think like a fish. All good fishermen always eat a lot of fish. I do need a rod, though. Can you give me one? That I do, my boy. I have an old one, but I'm not just handing it over as a gift. I'll ask you to bring me some moths. They're as good as bait, but you can only catch them at night, and I can hardly make out anything when it's dark. I need 6 moths. Great. So this man is a fish man. He has fish things. Love it. Isn't he also the astronomer, whatever, and I have to like do his fish quest first before he'll talk to me about astrology or astronomy or space. Alright, so we have several quests. I need to get back home to my love, whatever, get a beer from the tavern. I need to demonstrate that I am worth talking to Miss Charm, which hasn't been a thing that's been helpful yet. Do more work in the graveyard we could do. I need to find the stamp, so to get the stamp from Horadric, I need to talk to Miss Charm, so I need to get her to like me first. Paper and ink, honey pots, moths. I have lots and lots of things to do. Oh, what's this? This is a random machine that I can't deal with right now. Alright, so let's go home and give the beer to the skull. Maybe have a beer myself, because apparently I bought an extra one when I shouldn't have. Maybe we'll sit down and have a nice drink with the skull. It's interesting how long these footprints are sticking around. Because we're talking like a lot of footprints. Psst, come here. Where you been? I was at the village. This place is weird, but it feels so real. And everybody's okay with me just appearing out of nowhere. Sorry, you're stealing my thoughts. Stealing. I remember there's a cellar in your cottage. Some provisions must be stored in there. Oh, now I can gather things. Okay. Wheat, exactly. I remember baking bread from it, and pies. Sweet berry pies. Toast. Onion toast. Oh, that's good with beer. Sorry, you know what? I need a beer. This is beginning to feel like a one-sided relationship. Bring me a beer and I'll tell you a lot of important stuff, like how you can get home. Questions? You already asked for a beer once. Do you want a second one? Tell me about this road. Yes, can you tell? It was rhetorical. Do I look like a magic head with answers? Well, technically yes. Sorry, you smartass. I'll be waiting for that beer at my place. No beer, no answers. Fine, be that way. I'm gonna get some berries. Nope, not tree. Berry. Nope, that was mushroom. Berry. There we go. Alright, what are you? The Garden. Property in forfeiture. For commercial use, contact the tavern owner, Horadric. Alright, so we have building, blueprint. Use a blueprint desk to access the building interface, etc. Some objects will be built immediately, some of them will need a little extra work with your hammer and spend time and energy. Okay. Place for wood logs. Place for stones. Cellar. Looks like a good place to work on making my home cozy. Then maybe I can finally stop dreaming about this skull. Alright, so that's all well out of reach at the moment. Do I need to sleep? What's this thing I should be doing? Nah, we don't need sleep. Sleep's crazy. Alright, so skull. What's that sound? Ah, skulking. I knew I heard that sound before. Damn gate. I'll come here every night if I have to, but I'll get through eventually. Looks like I can remove this blockage and fortify the arch. We could do that. That is a thing we could do. Not at the moment, but it's a thing we could do. Ah, recipe. Lovely. Use. Baked mushrooms and baked apples. Lovely. And then we can, of course, expand our cellar as well. Alright, so I've done just about as much as I can do with my current energy load, so I think I probably should sleep. I say that and immediately realize I need nighttime to collect moths. So where do we have moths to collect? There's no way I can remove it. Alright, fine. I don't see any moth. Well, nothing that looks moth-like around here at dark. Yep, can't afford to do anything in the oven. And can't really afford to do anything in here either. Okie dokie. Nothing in my chest. Let's do a little bit of sleep. I do appreciate this sleep mechanic, because you can keep whatever hours you want, even if that means not sleeping ever and instead filling up with food and whatnot. I'm so refreshed. This is not good at all. Who do you think you are? I'm the new graveyard keeper? Hooray, a kipper! Well, I've been here for, how long? I'm Yorick. I'm so lonely. Poor, poor me. It's too bad you're here. Wait, no. On the contrary, I'm very glad to see you. But we do have a rather unpleasant fellow buried here. We'd really like to have a new neighbor instead. That sound like something you could help us with? I'm not exactly sure why I'm here, actually. Gary only told me about burying bodies. You're Yorick, and he's Gary. Funny. Ah, the half-dead skull. That jealous bastard. He can only dream of what peaceful rest we're having. Who am I kidding? It's terrible here. Especially that guy down the lower right corner grave. He's so mean. Could you just get rid of him? Just dig him up and throw him in the river. I can even give you this license that I stole back when I was alive. What license? You're such a dummy. To dig up a corpse you need a license. The old keeper used to buy them through the mailbox near the church. Oh, more tutorial. Alright, so let's go dig up a jerk ghost body and huck him in the river. Or let's deal with the new corpse that just came in. Thanks, donkey. Alright, no more body parts. Take body. Hey, where's my beer? Here. Have a beer. Ah, what a disappointment. I think I need something stronger. Alright, you seem like a decent guy, so here's some advice. Stop running around bragging that you're from another world. Today you whisper that to a drinking buddy in a tavern, and tomorrow your face is over every pole in the town. So if you want to keep yours, just stop. Maybe he's right. I could be more careful. So what was your question? I have several questions, actually. How do I get home? Easy. I'm sure you could use the portal on Witch Hill. So I just need to go through it, or what? Do I need to turn it on first? I obviously don't have a brain inside here, so I'm not sure where this knowledge is coming from. I told you everything I can remember. Maybe some books from the library could help you. Wow, the church has a library in its cellar. Or maybe the astrologer knows something. He's a smart man. He used to steal books from libraries when he was a kid. How do I get to the library? Obviously through the church, and I think your wine cellar might be connected to the church cellar. Oh, even the morgue is connected. There's a network of tunnels down here. Net. I used to like fishing. I remember fishing. Once I caught a fish this... sorry, I have no hands to show how big it was, but believe me, it was huge. I hate fish tails. And once... You know what? I need to go. Sure, it's nice to have legs. Don't forget to bring me some wine. Alright then. Astrologer. Oh, he's so smart and very cheerful. Though I don't know him personally, I think. But his wine was the best, and he was a big friend of the lighthouse keeper. They used to hang out at the lighthouse every moon day. Lighthouse. Yada yada. All these questions are so frustrating. You're not a very good friend, you know. Sorry. Rude. I know, he's so demanding. How is he even planning on drinking these things? He doesn't have lips. He doesn't have a throat. He doesn't have a belly for it to go into. Alright, no gravesite. Now we're just gonna pop a few down here. Oh, right. They're negative points if you don't have a body in them. Okay, we're going to have to wait on those. So I don't have anything yet here. I do need to exhume this guy. Oh, but he's potentially such a good corpse. Not for much longer. Oh, he did say dump him in the river, but I'm going to find out what's inside of him first. Meat! Meat's inside. Alright, now we can go to the river. I'm assuming I remember the river being this away. Okay, I don't have a map that goes that far. We're going this way. Pretty sure he said west. Hey, look, it's a river. Look. It'll be fine. What do you think you're doing here? That ghost asked me to get rid of the body. So what? Now you're just doing everything he asks? It's not like he can do anything to you. He's disembodied. Whereas I can bite you to death while you're sleeping. Of course, I'd never do anything like that because we're friends, but you get my point, right? Anyway, if you ask me, the best way to get rid of a body is to burn it. Where's that river lead, by the way? That river somewhere down to the town, I think. How do I burn a body? You know what? You're one of those guys that looks a lot smarter than they actually are. Thanks? That's what I'm talking about. ... You need fire and some wood. It's a bit tricky to make the whole thing burn to ash. Where do I burn it? You need a nice quiet place, like the place I use for my meditation. Across the road from the mortuary entrance near the cliff. Each important character who the graveyard keeper meets will appear on the character screen. This is a weird time to have this specific pop-up come up. It's fine, but not what I was expecting. Sure. Yup, okay. So down here is where we can do the body burning. But I don't have the crematorium skill yet. I feel like I should have gotten that. Like when he told me about burning bodies, I feel like I should have gotten the crematorium option. But you know, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Howdy, Kinder. Welcome back. Alright, so this is the mailbox, right? Yes, and we can't do that until the church is open. Alright, let's see. Can I fix up this? No. Can't get rid of the big creepy tree. So really my only option for making this place prettier is flower bed, which I don't have the materials for, or actually putting gravestones and fences around and repairing whatever else is here. So let's see, we need let's take a peek. It's hard to remember which ones are damaged or not, but I think we can kind of tell visually. This one's damaged. So we need 2 stone fence repairs. These are wood ones, so we need at least 4 wood headstone repairs. I could potentially just replace them with something better too, instead of repairing them up. Too late, Kinder. You already did it. You're committed. Ah, flowers are a thing now. Okay. I don't know why flowers are a thing now, but I'm collecting flowers. Alright, so let's take a peek. Get a bottle of wine. So I need to wait for Moon Day to talk to Lighthouse Keeper and or Astronomer guy who's not on my list. But he's going to be at the lighthouse. I don't have any moths yet. That would absolutely murder my neck, kinder. My neck has a hard enough time with a monitor straight in front of me and one right off to the side. Alright, so we are currently on... I think I settled on Green Day. I'm pretty sure I settled at calling this one Green Day in the past. So Green Day works for me. So we're currently at the dawn of Green Day. Let's go down and meet the farmer guy. I don't think I have anything to get from him yet, but farmer, you know. I need to finish my chores or father will be terrifyingly angry. Leave. Alright, so apparently we don't have father yet. That's fine. I'm gonna steal your berries though. Hopefully you don't need those. Gila, hi. I thought I could harvest apples, but maybe it's not gonna let me harvest their apples. Alright, so anyone else in town I need to talk to? Witch Hill, bottle of wine, snake, Miss Charm. So how do I get Miss Charm to like me? I think there was something to do with talking to the astronomer first. So that'll be fine. Hello, Gila. Hello, kitty. Hi, come here. He flopped. Come here. Come here. Come here, kitty. Come here, kitty. He flopped. He flopped so well. Good kitty. I have him. I have him by his lower self. Look at them dangly feet. He didn't want me showing his dangly feet. Alright, 5 honey pots. I don't think we've gotten honey yet. So yeah, I think Moon Day. We just gotta wait for Moon Day. I could also look at cracking open the cellar area and just see about talking to Snake. Because it's also possible Snake had to do with charming Miss Charm. I don't remember all the details. Who are you? Doesn't matter, can't talk to you. Okay. You, sir. What about this garden you've got? Oh, the garden. It was seized by the merchant to cover someone's debts. I can't find anybody who will make use of it. I can give you permission to use the garden. Who else would agree to grow crops near a graveyard? Sure. Thanks. Sounds great. Good, but you still need to talk to the merchant. It's his property. Oh, okay. It's not exactly proper to give you permission without his approval, but it's fine if you just promise to settle the details with him later. Sure, I'll talk to him. He comes to trade with the locals every Quake Day. He owns the barn just south of Tavern. Okie dokie. Oh, will you buy my things? Yes, burial certificate. Yep, game's on sale. It's actually been out for quite some time. We're replaying it now because I missed, or I stopped playing it before any of the DLC came out 4 years ago. So I'm starting over to get a fresh start in the game, see all the stuff I missed. Let's get some more berries. Berries? Berries, there we go. Couldn't do it from the front side for some reason. I'm baking flowers. Alright, so I need to wait for nightfall, I think. Ah, okay. I think I just need to wait for nightfall, see if we can get some moths from somewhere. I don't recall where the moths come from. I thought they'd just be out and about. Let's wander this away. Yep, so we got a fishing spot, but I don't have fishing stuff yet. And there's this man. Hello. Hi, I'm Tress. I'm the Graveyard Keeper. Nice to meet you. If you need some wood materials, I'd be happy to help you. For stone materials, you can visit my brother Corey. Tress and Corey. So these guys just basic buy, okay? You are a shepherd. You sell peat. Alright. No chopping. It's a really dense forest. Hey, don't even think about chopping the trees here. Nope, just exploring. Good. I paid a lot to the village for the right to chop the trees around here. I gotta tell you, it's hard work. If only I had a better axe. What if I brought you one? I haven't made much money yet, and don't even have a house. But I can teach you my old family recipe. It's nice pasta. It'll help keep up your stamina while you're working. Sure. I just need to bring you an axe of some variety. Meow. Meow. Yeah, I remember enjoying it the first time I played it. But it's just been a long ass time. Alright, so we've got woodcutter, carpenter, and I think, yeah, the mason dude's over here. So we'll go this way. Hi, hello. I'm Corey. And I'm the Graveyard Keeper. Nice to meet you. If you need some stone materials, I'd be happy to help you. For wood materials, go visit my brother Tress. They are definitely brothers. Alright, well, we learned a thing. This is honey. Can I have it without dying? I can. Oh, wonderful. Wasn't sure if that'd work. Alright, so now I need to find moth. I think moth was something about harvesting the flowers. But I'm not getting any luck harvesting flowers. So where would moths be at night? I would assume the moths would have been around his place, but apparently not. Do we have any information about the moth? Bring 6 moths. Okay. Nope. No information there. Is this a technology I need? Master Gatherer, beekeeping, insects. Right. Right. So I need 5 blue technology before I can even start that side. Okay. Alright, so study table, church basement, which means I need to get to the church basement. So I need to either open up the church or I need to crack it open from below. Cool. Got it. Well, it's gonna be Moon Day in a moment here, so let's just hang out for a little bit. Oh, I can pick apples. It just wasn't letting me half the time. Yeah, like here, it won't let me collect apples here. Huh, weird. The ability to collect apples is very inconsistent. It is very clear that there are apples on 3 of these trees that I'm not allowed to touch. Alright, so I have no more energy. We're gonna hang out here for another moment or so until Moon Day starts. We can talk to the astrologer while we're here, see if we can get some paper and ink. And, you know, have a chat about the potential of going home, etc. Pick apples when there are 2 on the ground to indicate they're ripe. Interesting. Okay, I'll keep an eye on that for next time I find apple trees. Alright, dudes, I need you to wake up, get out here. We need to have a discussion. There you are. Alright, so there's the one of you. I don't have moths yet. Where's your friend? Oh, it's friggin' Man Day, isn't it? Damn it. Alright. I didn't realize it was Man Day instead of Moon Day. Yeah, unfortunately, I do remember travel in this game being kind of slow. I don't know if we ever got a faster option, but it's definitely slow. Ah. See, we're getting pop-ups that are spoilery. Inquisitor's Joy. We're meeting the Inquisitor. Everything is ready, Monsignor. Good. Were there any problems? No, Monsignor. Except there was this strange fellow snooping around. Oh, here he is. Halt. Guys, calm down. I live here at the graveyard. He calls us guys. Well, he's a cultist for certain, Monsignor. I'm the graveyard keeper. I work as the keeper of the local graveyard. You can ask any of the villagers about me. I've totally been here for like 3 days. Then you're definitely a new one. I feel you're telling the truth. Would you join me at the witch burning ceremony? Sure. I would be honored, I guess. So, how did you find yourself in such an interesting position? You know, I've wanted to be a graveyard keeper ever since I was a kid. I strongly suggest you avoid bothering people with such silly stories. Here I am, the Great Inquisitor. I protect the one true faith and humankind itself. We're having a tough time in the town. The ship of dead is already overloaded and there's a new one stuck in the shipyard. Your graveyard is opening again at a suspiciously auspicious time. The dark cult is rising and I can feel it. Righteous anger rises within my soul. Yes, it's that. We've burned thousands of witches and heretics for 30 years. And it's only the beginning. Burn the witch! Burn! Light the fire! Long live the Great Inquisitor! Hurrah! Hurrah! So, you work with a lot of dead bodies, huh? Yes, I think it's part of my job. And you live right beside this hill near the graveyard, is that right? Yes. Interesting, interesting. You know, I need someone to be my friend here at the village. A friend of mine is a friend of the Holy Inquisition. I don't trust the villagers. They don't go to church and even refuse to lay in their graves after death. But you're new here. You might notice something unusual. Sure. I will be your friend. It will be a pleasure. A wise choice. Friendship is based on trust and goodwill. To earn my trust and to be the friend of the Inquisition, you'll first have to show your goodwill. So I have a couple of minor tasks for you. What kind of tasks? Everything in due time. Today is a day of wrath, not a day of sweating the minor details. We can talk next Monday or any other Monday. I like to come here. There's no other place where I can feel my holy wrath so deeply. Okie dokie. Your wrathiness. Not now. I am not entirely sure about this game about being what you said. I'm not sure about it. I need to go take care of that corpse. Save, you say? Not an option. Ooh, I need to take care of the corpse, but it's all late and stuff. I guess I could just bury it as is. Yeah, let's just bury it as is. I need to fill in these holes anyway. I don't even know if I have the strength to bury it as is. Barely. Perfect. Man, time goes by so friggin' quickly. And I need to sleep. Well, we'll sleep. I'm assuming that's gonna save. Perfect. Saving progress. There we go. I'm so refreshed. Good. It's much nicer without him at the graveyard. I'm still so sad, though. I'm so lonely. I was bad when I was alive. I should have been a better person. What do you mean? We're dead, but we still deserve some respect. Oh, fine, I'll tell you. Each corpse is a soul's vessel. It bears the mark of his life. Sins are red and good deeds are white. Even the best decorations can't make a graveyard a peaceful place when it is full of red. /T. I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about. I'm sure you don't. Haha. You better take good care of the graveyard. I'll be watching you. I can't do anything. I'm so sad. Boo. Alright. So, sad ghost man has left us alone. I don't remember where I can craft things. Can I just craft things here? No. I have a bucket of water. Great. Don't know why I have a bucket of water, but I have a bucket of water. Alright, so this is the garden. Hi, kitty. Hello, Skullman. Nope, okay. Okay, Paige. Have a good night. You know what? It's a little bit odd. They haven't told me where to craft things. Because I can't clear any of this without the wooden wedge and the wooden plank. So is my only option right now to go buy it from the carpenter man? That feels a little odd. I feel like we should have had the option to craft something by now. I can make berry juice. Yes, let's. Can I not drink the berry juice? Alright, fine. I will eat flowers and stuff. Oh, I think I can use the garden certificate to open up the garden. Good, good. I do still need to talk to Merchant Man, but that's fine. So, where exactly do I get things? Where do I craft things? sawing things. Yes, that's what I need. So I need wood wedges. I don't know what else I need off my hand, but that's fine. Alright, so that should let me craft a thing. Sawhorse. Alright, so wooden markers let me expand the grave prettiness a little bit, but I'm not sure I even want to bother. Alright, so I need a chopping spot too. I don't have 5 logs. I don't have 5 wood billets specifically. Weird. Alright, I do need another log though before I can do that, so we'll just take this one. Then it gets me a chopping spot. Where I can make wood wedges. And naturally I have no idea how many I need for my purposes. I need 2 more planks. Okay. I do just realize at this very moment that it is Moon Day and I should have been running to the lighthouse. So we're going to see if I can make it there in time. And by run, I mean casual saunter that way. No, donkey. Donkey, fuck off. I don't think I'm gonna make it to the lighthouse in time. This is a really slow walk. Oh, we are gonna make it in time. Okay. Hello, astronomer man. Hi. Are you the astrologer? I used to be. Now I'm more of a lost soul in this dead-end world. I'm the new graveyard keeper, and it seems I need your help. Everyone needs something except me. Knowledge brings only sadness, young man. You seem pretty happy. Your trivial needs are meaningless to me. So there's no way you can help me? Let me see. You're looking after the graveyard. Yes? Psst, quiet. Bring me a skull. It's pretty illegal, but who cares about that stupid Inquisitor's law? Oh. Would you like the talking one? Gary? He's kind of my friend. I don't think it'd be appropriate. No, I just need a simple skull from any old dead body. Oh, okay. You sure you don't want the talking one? He's kind of much at times. Ah! Guess we're going this way. Alright, lead on, sir. Lead on. You know what? I'm gonna follow him. We're gonna see where he goes. Ow. Hang on, hang on, hang on. 2 apples. You're right, 2 apples. Alright, sir, lead on. I'm curious. Where are we going, bud? We're going this way? Okay. He's very pushy, yes. He's a pushy, crotchety old man. Ah, nope. Man, no wonder he only comes every moon day. It takes him a day and a half to get where he's going anyway. Oh, we're going down here? Okay. Okay. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. Ow. Path of the town is closed. But you just let him through? Fine. Okay. So, let's go back. Before I go back to town, I would like honey. I've found 2 honeys. If there's a third one, then I'll have my 5. If not, then I'll just go get 2 more the next day or whatever. The second one's over here. I don't know where a third one is. There might be a third one, but who knows? And of course I can't steal from these, which is unfortunate. Alright, so let's go home. It's going to take me a little while to get up to the +5, I think, for the graveyard. Because I'm at like -11 right now, and I still need to get up enough materials to pretty up the place. But let's go see what I can do. This corpse is just going to have to get buried again. Can always dig it up later if I need to remove parts from it. Lovely. Alright, so we're at -10. Not too awful. Nope. Alright, so he has nothing useful to say. So we can fix up the graveyard with stone, peat, and red flowers. We can make it prettier with some flower beds. Otherwise, I just need to build some gravestone bits. Gravestone bits I can do through theology. Wooden crosses, stone crosses, etc. I do need to work towards this, so let's do the beeswax. I still need the 5. So I think I need to work towards cracking open the basement again. So let's get some more wood. You're wood. Nope, that's mushroom. You're wood. Alright, so I need planks. Which one is planks? You are Flitch. Firewood. Do I not have planks? Can't make planks until I get 20 more woodworking points. Okay, that's fair. So let's make another wood billet. Because I get red points from doing that. We'll make some more wedge pieces here. That's 1 whole point per. Cool. Not quite enough. Does this give me a point? That gives me a point. Okay. We'll clean up our basement a little bit then. Still need them 2 planks. So I need the 2 planks, and I probably need another set over here. But at least cracking this open gets me access to Snake, where I can then talk to him about the meat stamp, which is just sounds wrong. Now, why can't I use the berry juice? Well, berry juice has no use whatsoever, so I made a bunch of berry juice for nothing. It's probably a component in a later recipe or something like wine or whatever. But at the moment, I can't use it for anything, so it goes in the box. Wheat can go in a box. Mushrooms kill me if I eat them. Meat can go in a box for now. Bucket of water can go in a box. A beer. There, a little bit of space. Okay, so let's get some more materials. Not enough energy. Ah, yes. The pushing tactics. Alright, sure. I have plenty of billets. Let's make a firewood. Alright, I have the points now for this. I am honestly startled by the lack of tutorial in this. For how much tutorial there is, it feels like they haven't really told me how to do a lot. I'm figuring it out, but it still feels like we're missing some information. Alright, carpenter's woodwork. I need another couple flitches. Alright, we need to sleep. Well, we slept through the whole day and night. So refreshed. Alright, so I got my planks. Haha! Now we can talk to Snake. Hold still. Who are you? I'm the graveyard keeper and prior of this church that's not open yet. Mind your business. I have a dagger and I'll gladly use it. Well, I will try to threaten you, because I don't have the glowy things to try to convince you. You may have a dagger, but I have a sword. Okay, but you should know I fight like a beast to the death. Ah, I'm ready to die, are you? On the one hand, he looks dangerous. But on the other hand, I'm definitely not ready to become a murderer. Yet. I won't fight you, but stay away from my property here. I have no use for rotten flesh and old books. Oh, okay. So I need to do the church thing before I can convince him to even talk to me. Cool. So I need... Ow. The wooden beam. Great. I am a lot of points away from that. So, the clearing out the path this direction is not the answer to get my blue stuff. Goodbye, sir. I love how I crack open the areas to make it easier for him to get through, and then tell him, you know, don't. Just don't. Alright, so what's my path forward here? I need to get a skull from a dead body. So do I have the tech to do that? I need a couple more blue points, but then yes, I have the tech to do that. So I need to get a skull. Let's see. Bottle of wine. I need to meet him on Monday for Witch Hill. I need to get Miss Charm to like me, which isn't happening yet. Reaching 5 at the graveyard seems surprisingly difficult. 6 moths I need blue technology for, if I recall. Yep, I still need blue knowledge tech points or whatever. So that's not happening. Iron axe. Paper and ink requires talking to Astronomer Man. Honey pots I can probably do, but that's just a recipe. Alright, looks like the skull from the dead body is my next step. So I just need a few more red points. I can do that. I chop down trees to learn how to extract skulls from corpses. That seems accurate. I mean, that's true. A good night's rest does not happen during the day. Technically correct. You know what, let's do a wood repair kit. I can do that. Because I also need to work towards opening up the church, and a wood repair kit would help with that. So let's go repair whatever wood stuff I can in the church. or graveyard, you know, the graveyard that I am keeping. Lovely. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 5 repair things to fix up the wooden stuff that's here. I don't think I can make stone repair just yet. No, stone repair kit, I need a few more red points first. But I could, theoretically, fairly soon. But let's get this first, because I need that for quest. And Donkey should be bringing me a body anytime now. I actually don't know when Donkey brings me a body. I need a technology to chop down the crusty trees. Alright, so I need another plank. Yeah. Energy. I forgot how much energy is a problem in this game, at least until you can get better food. Alright, so I don't have any more nails, I don't have any more wood bits for the most part. So whatever I can repair from here is about it. Missed. Alright, so repairing this is going to give me not terribly much. Repairing this is going to give me not terribly much, I don't think. Oh, it gave me +2, that's good. Alright, so we're at -2. Which it's not awful. I need probably gravestones to go on here. 4 gravestones. I don't know if I can make fences yet. Another 5 or 10 red points. I need more red points. I have a lot of locked behind red points. So let's do some of that. Why? Put. There we go. Alright, so I need to make several flitches. Let's do that many for now. And let's make 5 planks. And energy. But that does give me enough for the simple gravestones. I could do the soft stuff yet, but I don't need to at the moment. I need... can't do any of that. Stone working for stone repair. Let's do, I think this will be the most beneficial, because it lets me put headstones and fences on stuff that doesn't already have it. And then the next step is the stoneworking to repair what's there, if I don't just straight up replace it. I will be a decent graveyard keeper, I swear. Okay, so that's that. I still need a few more points, but that's fine. We have a body to take care of, and I have a skull to remove. Alright, let's remove all of the things. I know I need the skull, but I also know that the more you remove from a body, the more worthless it is. So the body is 2 and 2 currently. Still 2 and 2. Removing the meat, put it down to 2 and 1. So the 1 is how pretty the body can be in the graveyard. So it is now down to 1 maximum pretty and 2 anti-pretty. And then removing the skin has made it 3 anti-pretty. So if I put this in the graveyard right now, it's gonna cause me more problems than it's worth, honestly. I could huck it down the river, but I think we need to burn. Let's see if I can get the burning to work. I think that was supposed to be just right here. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it's not letting me do the crematorium. Is that another tech I need to unlock? Yes, yes it is. Cool. So, I feel like the progression got broken somewhere. Because Skullman told me that I should burn bodies. But then, it's not available to me. So something happened there. Not entirely sure what. Do I have an open hole for this? No, but I have a hole to dig. It's fine. We'll dig the hole, put them in there. You can always exhume them later. It'll be fine. Yeah, so now we're at -5. So that was actually a really awful corpse to bury. Because it's a -3 to the prettiness. I don't have the exhume permissions. Alright, so I need several headstones. In fact, I think I'm going to replace these wooden marker headstones, because I think these ones are better, the other 2 instead of 1. And we need wooden grave fences, so I need 4, 5, 6, 7, potentially 8 if I want to replace this one. Headstones. And then 7 to 9 fences, depending on how we want to repair those things. Cool. So let's see if I can afford any of that. Hi, Gizmo. How you doing? How much is it for the headstones? Wooden crosses. It is planks and nails. Nails, which I don't have yet. I could potentially buy nails? Let's do the wooden graves, the grave fences though. Because that I can afford and I can do that without thinking about it. Oh, hydration. Yes, indeed. So little hydration left. Oh god. Oh, my pockets. My pockets are full. Here, we'll just put that in there. Sure, bone 2. Gizmo, stop it. Okay. And then we do a little bit of a stretchy stretch. Thank you, Midnight. Okay, so let's put some fences down. Alright, so we're at 0. 0 is not so bad. If I get the 5 headstones, that's pretty much the 5 we need for church. I could do 2 more fences. Maybe 3 if I replace this one. And then I'll only need 2 headstones. And we can probably get away with not the expensive headstones. Because these are 2 per. Oh, and these wooden markers still require nails. Oh, okay. So then it's pointless to make the wooden markers. Because the nails are the expensive part, not the planks. Alright, I need nails. I don't have those yet. But I need planks, and I can make plenty. I'm assuming I can buy nails from the blacksmith in town. That feels like a thing that I could probably do. Let's see, tech. Let's do the stoneworking. Let's do mining. And I probably should do the create axe next. But yeah, it's remarkable how little tutorial this is. It just really just kind of throws you in there, it gives you some of the real basics, and then says, good fucking luck to you. So, we're figuring it out, but it feels like there could be a little bit more hand-holding. Maybe they decided that hand-holding was not their thing. And that they just wanted to point you at the tech tree. There we go. Alright, let's do one more flitch here. I need to do forging and then tools. So let's do forging, because that gives me the nails. Nails would be good. That is a fair point, RK. Who does want to hold the hand of some dead dude that butchers bodies for an afterlife living? Yes, that's a good point. All right, so if I'm gonna forge nails and stuff, I will need an iron ore stockpile and a wooden anvil. Sure, wooden anvil. You know what? Let's clear out this section. Oof, iron ore stockpile. Our ability to build here is very limited. Yikes. Alright, it's fine, we don't need an iron ore stockpile right now. Sawhorse. No. Anything else I can build? Increase yard space is a thing I can build. Alright, so I need iron ingots to make nails. So we've got that. Do we have a forge? Furnace. I need several more stone and simple iron parts. Okay. Interesting. Alright. So I wasn't able to make the nails because I need the parts from the forge to make the furnace, to make the ingots, to make stuff from the forge. It's a bit of a roundabout problem there, so I'm gonna have to buy a couple things from the blacksmith first. So let's see, bare minimum, what do I need? I need 4 simple iron parts for the furnace, and I can go get stone. Alrighty, RK, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you being there. Have yourself a good night. I do need a lurk command, don't I? Mental to-do note. I need a lurk command. There. Mental to-do note. Alright. It's late now that I look at it. Let's stop here. I think we're at an okay stopping point. Still plenty more to do to even get up and running. We're just barely getting our feet under us right now. I have lots and lots to figure out because it's been a long time since I've played the game, and the game does not want to teach me how to play the game. So we're just gonna have to figure it out the hard way. I have a little bit of iron here. I have slimes. Yeah. I mean, so we have iron ore. This is good. I approve of having iron ore. What is that up there? Oh, I vaguely remember that. I think I had unlocked that kind of near the end, so I don't remember what it is. Some sort of stable or something. I don't know. But yeah, I got stone to pick. Because we need like 14 stone for the furnace. So we have all sorts of stuff needed. I may do some of this off stream. Because obviously the beginning of the game I had already streamed once before. So a lot of this is repetition, so I might do some of it in my off time, so you might see at least some material gathering in my off time whenever I have a moment. But yeah, for right now, it's been nice starting up Graveyard Keeper again. Thanks to Midnight and others for suggesting it. Demos, I believe, made the first mention in the Discord when we were trying to figure out what to play tonight. So yeah, it's good getting back to it. I've been meaning to get back to this for a very long time. Now that we have 4 DLC worth of extra stuff, I think we got plenty of work ahead of us. This will probably be on the rotation and in the votes for when we decide to play other games. But for tonight, that's all I got. Yeah, my brain's pretty much gone, and it looks like, according to the lurking numbers, most of you are also gone. So we got Paige, Midnight, RK, Demos, Kinder. Anyone else who may still be lurking out there, I appreciate y'all being there. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you for coming. I will see you next time. Bye.